Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck just said?
The user's official court statement has now implicated Diddy. A multifaceted icon in the music industry, Diddy has always been a figure of both admiration and controversy. His rise from Harlem to international fame is filled with success, but shadowed by ongoing rumors and accusations. Usher, who was mentored by Diddy early in his career, shared unsettling revelations, describing how Diddy took advantage of young, aspiring artists, exploiting their dreams for his own benefit.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some.
Usher's early years with music mogul Diddy were anything but typical. At just 13, Usher lived in Diddy's New York home while being mentored by the powerful producer. But behind closed doors, Usher was exposed to a lifestyle filled with indulgence and explicit behavior.
Could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till...
Diddy exposed Usher to a lifestyle that included orgies and other questionable activities. Looking back, Usher described those times as pretty wild and admitted he wouldn't put his own child in that kind of environment.
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
what
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Jan Deal, in his conversation on Asterisk, The Art of Dialogue Asterisk, touched on an alleged past involving Diddy and Usher. Deal critically mentioned an incident that reportedly sent Usher to the hospital. Usher's journey became closely tied to Diddy's when he lived with him in New York while working on his debut album. During that time, some wild and chaotic events took place.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher?
Jane Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, claims he witnessed unsettling incidents involving Diddy and male rappers.
Rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah, so then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, Ja Rule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered. When I threw him into piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, Gene, that's my cousin. He know me well. You know, and Puff was like, yo, Gene, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So
Gene Deal alleges that Diddy would invite male artists to his hotel rooms under the pretense of discussing their careers. Once there, Diddy would reportedly make advances toward them, creating an uncomfortable and exploitative situation.
Great tracks. He's getting all the songs. They making him into this star, even though he may have been abused.
They seem to be pretty good friends.
Well, they probably is.
I mean, they did a lot of work together, man, throughout their whole career. You know, Puff was early in his career. Puff and Usher were working together when Usher was just a kid, all the way up. I mean, you know, I think there's videos from not too long ago when they were together, and you know, Puff is making jokes about how they used to wrestle for the Frosted Flakes in the morning, and
yeah, I bet they did.
You know,
somebody frosted somebody flakes. Without the milk.
What do you think it is that keeps Usher from coming out or saying anything?
Because, yo, dog, you got to realize in that industry, a lot of people stand back and say, well, it happened to me. That's how some of them people pay their dues. And the people who don't go down like that don't be as great as...
In Usher's appearance on Asterisk Club Shay Asterisk, he talked about his time at Diddy's Flavor Camp during the 1990s, a period when he was still a minor.
Howard Stern recently, and he was talking about being at Diddy's house when he was 15 years old. And he said, how crazy was it? And he goes, well, saw a lot of shit I probably shouldn't have at 15 years old. And Stern was like, well, was there women? Was there sex and everything else? And Usher was like, you know, I don't really want to comment on it, but it was crazy. This has been going on in different realms. Even he was just like, did he call him a demonic? Or is it demonics, I believe? Which I'd never heard that phrase before, but that they were all
about Diddy?
Down this year, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, live under a rock. All of his homes were raided yesterday by the Fed.
Power dynamics in the music industry can often be exploitative, particularly for aspiring artists looking for mentorship or career breaks.
Will Smith and Diddy destroyed this young singer's career, and some are saying they R-worded him like they allegedly did to Justin Bieber and Usher. So Bryshere Gray is an American actor and rapper who suddenly disappeared from the spotlight and dropped some major hints it had to do with Diddy and Will Smith's mentorship. He is now suing them both over his experience, and because many people say he was allegedly R-worded by the duo, Bryshere started to act out in disturbing ways, similar to how Justin Bieber did. Gray was arrested by police following an alleged DV incident with his wife. Then in May 24, 2021, he spent time in prison for allegedly putting his paws on her. So Jaguar Wright said she witnessed young boys run from Diddy's house screaming from these mentorship.
These allegations highlight how powerful figures like Diddy can misuse their influence to exploit vulnerable individuals seeking guidance or opportunities.
Groom a very young Justin Bieber. Let's get into it. In a clip from 14 years ago, we see that Justin, 15 at the time, was spending 48 hours living with Diddy, who was 40 years old at the time.
Yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion.
Yeah.
And back then, people described this video as cute, but now it's described as a red flag. There's a video of Justin and Diddy, and the vibes are awkward.
Are you good? I'm good. How are you?
Alright, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
It is obvious that Justin is not very comfortable. He was stuttering. And in the comment section from the first videos, this more recent comment says the hyperbolic time chamber of comments back then, not realizing how obvious this video is literally some 40-year-old creep justifying having a pop-related 15-year-old live with him.
Was on Howard Stern podcast, and Howard Stern was talking to him about Flavor Camp, that at 13 years old, Usher was sent to live with P. Diddy, not his father, not his uncle, not his brother. A 13-year-old boy sent to live with a grown man to learn about the music business. And he said he saw some things he shouldn't have seen. And Howard Stern asked him, you have kids now, he said, would you send him to Flavor Camp? And he said, hell no. And the way he said it made me feel, a lot of people feel like he saw some things. But what did he see?
Usher and Justin Bieber, both mentored by Diddy early in their careers, have lasting memories of those experiences. Bieber later expressed discomfort when reflecting on that period. Diddy's charisma and power dynamics left a lasting impact on both artists, shaping their career paths.
Some massive allegations might be coming soon involving Justin Bieber, P. Diddy, and Usher. Usher was discovered when he was 14 years old by P. Diddy. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2012, Usher admitted that Puff Daddy had brought him to sex parties and exposed him to drugs when he signed to the record label. The cycle repeated when Puff Daddy found Justin Bieber around the same age as when he found Usher. According to Justin Bieber's own mother, Puff Daddy corrupted her son, pressuring him to go to these drug-fueled sex parties. This all becomes even more disturbing this past year. Countless other women and men all tell the same story of being drugged and SA'd by P. Diddy. P. Diddy allegedly admitted to murdering people to keep this all quiet. And when all these allegations dropped, Hailey Bieber's dad asked people to pray for the couple. In my opinion, Justin seems damaged from his time in the music industry.
In later years, Usher shared his experiences living with Diddy on various podcasts, admitting that at the time, he didn't fully understand what was happening around him.
To him being fruity?
I don't know what you mean by really, do I see this man being fruity? Does a man like other men? I think he's brother love. He love other men. Bruh, I can say this, and I'm gonna leave it at that when I say it. And this is not something that, really interests me and might interest the viewers and everything like that. They live this weird rock and roll lifestyle where they touchy-feely with each other. And all I could say in situations like that is that if two men lay down.
Usher also played a crucial role in Justin Bieber's career. A video has emerged in which Diddy claims he was introduced to Bieber by Usher, a statement that has raised some eyebrows.
Hollywood changed the last 40 years. It's insanity what's going on in there. Look, my agent called me about 10, 11 years ago. My agent and manager together. They're never in the same place because they're on different sides of the hill there in California. And I felt like it was an intervention, but I walked in and said, we can't work with you anymore. Because I started getting pretty vocal on the internet, and my wife says, they're going to come after you. I said, why? What am I? I'm just saying the truth. This is the truth. But apparently the truth is a horrible thing to say on the internet, as you know. So they said, we can't work with you anymore. As a conservative, we can't work with him. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. You guys for decades are the ones screaming for tolerance, screaming for freedom of speech, but as you know, that's all a one-way street with Hollywood. And that's too bad, because I don't harbor that kind of hate and anger that they have towards people like me. I just don't. I have friends that are liberal, friends that are atheists, and we get along, we have a beer, we play golf, and we give each other a hard time, but we're still friends. But it's a different world right now in terms of
G. Deal has openly discussed his experiences working with Diddy in various interviews and podcasts, making several startling revelations. He claims that Diddy had affairs with other prominent men and that he used women to help facilitate intimate encounters between men in his presence. These allegations have intensified the scrutiny of Diddy's personal life and behavior.
I told my father I wanted to rap. He was very leery of that idea. He said this I heard this business is terrible. And he's right. Like, people are all seeing things that are wrong inside of contracts, turning blind eyes to it, and everyone's responsible.
Boy for life, yeah? He wasn't kidding. Bad boy's an understatement. Oh, we love a bad boy, don't we? Not Jeffrey Epstein bad boy. So we've done a fair bit about P. Diddy in the last year, Did he kill Tupac? Probably. Did he destroy Cassie's life? Yeah, looks like it. And even on his Wikipedia in 2017, he had a lawsuit from his personal chef, Cindy, who had allegations against him of sexual assault. Then after the Cassie thing, this was only months ago, he has 2 more allegations of sexual assault and revenge porn. He was accused by a woman of raping her when she was only 17. And now a few months on from that, we've got one of his male producers who worked for him now accusing him with a full-blown lawsuit. Now, the guy in question, his name is Rodney Jones, or Lil Rod, as his producer name is. He's accused him of a lot of different things, including touching the anus. Just another day at the office for P. Diddy, that. So the first big thing you hear about is P. Diddy shooting a guy at a recording studio. Now, I couldn't believe this, because you're thinking, like, the death row era was 30 years ago. P. Diddy is in his mid-50s, and he's still, giving it the big un, as if he's some gangster.
Hollywood, known for its glamorous premieres and red carpets, also hides its darker side. In a rare moment of honesty, Kanye West revealed the toxicity of the industry. Diddy's story serves as a cautionary tale within this larger narrative, highlighting the true costs of ambition.
Was as he said it was. But in truth, he actually took photographs of the crime scene itself and has kept them for just such a lawsuit, coincidentally, and has the evidence to corroborate everything he's saying, that the shooting did take place inside the studio, not on the street. And Mr. Jones actually still has the clothes that he was wearing that day, so that could also help with DNA evidence, etc., of the guy's blood on his clothes. And I think at this point, the way the lawsuit is written was when he really started being intimidated by P. Diddy. Like, he's just watched this guy blow another guy away almost. I think the guy survived as it happened, but he's obviously not afraid to kill someone. So I think we have to bear that in mind for the remainder of this lawsuit. It's like, when you watch someone do that, they're not right. Touching of the anus while in the workplace, which I'm not totally familiar with the laws in America, but I don't imagine that's the sort of done thing. And P. Diddy would also make this guy work in the bathroom, which is weird, right? Because P. Diddy would be walking around wafting his cock about, getting in the shower and lathering up. And this guy's trying to create music over here. He's like, I thought we were going to make More Money, More Problems or Bad Boys or something like that. And instead, I'm just sitting watching Diddy have a Tommy Tank in the shower. Not really what he signed up for, was it? I suppose you can get, musical inspiration anyway, but not ideal.